Let's cut right into it. Cook Serve Delicious 2 is awesome. It is a non-stop, pulse-pounding culinary carnage, an adrenaline-fueled, fast-paced food fight the likes of which the world has never seen. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, because Cook Serve Delicious 2 turns it up to the boiling point, a chaotic customer service crescendo of non-stop cooking and serving. The frantic food service simulator of the summer. Anyway, as I said in my first impressions, the prep stations are the best new feature. They expand on the difficulty and make a lot of sense in the restaurant. Of course, a real restaurant prepares some of the food before it's served. Some foods are required to be cooked beforehand and have a few servings before being depleted. There are other foods that you can prepare before if you want, like hamburger patties and wieners. Be warned, this isn't a free area for you to make whatever you want. It's still very specific. The game asks for classic pretzels, you can't make German ones. It shows some meh faces instead of giving a clear indication that you did it wrong. It's explained in the tutorial, but since that's not forced on the player, I jumped right in. Once I discovered that was happening, I found the prep stations extremely useful and fun for when there are gaps in preparing recipes. Because of these prep stations, I feel like the rush hours are more intense and your throughput during these times can be much higher if you prepare accordingly. Second best new feature has to be the restaurant designer. You're in control of wallpaper, seating, lighting, and decorations. Feel free to try and create a beautiful restaurant, but I went for the more kitschy dive bar feel. The pieces you're given are a lot sillier than serious, and the designer has no real effect on your restaurant. The editor is a little janky and takes some getting used to. Placing items is simple, but the mouse controls are confusing. Deleting items from your restaurant is even more difficult because you need to select the type of item you want to delete and then mouse wheel over to it. Overall, I like the addition, and now you can change your restaurant style when it gets boring. The new themed levels are so much fun to play. While playing it, you only have to focus on serving customers. No buzz, no setting up the menu. It's fun. It reduces the anxiety of trying new menu items in your restaurant. This allows you to basically try all the recipes in a progression from easiest to hardest before you buy them. It also advances your character and unlocks items to decorate your personal restaurant. All the design items are unlockable when you level up by experience. After you level up at the end of the stage, new tables and chairs unlock in a box. Leveling up unlocks new recipes that you can buy. It's a sense of progression that's much clearer than the last game. Also less tedious since you gain experience by playing the themed restaurants as well. For someone like me who wants to make a menu with the most expensive items and create a lot of buzz, there isn't a lot of information provided. Before, we had little icons on each food item when you were selecting the menu to know the price and how exactly the buzz would be affected. Now it only shows if a prep station is required. That's helpful, but having to go back to the food list to try and remember the price of an item is annoying. It says in the tutorial for buzz that serving a perfect or delicious order will increase your buzz, but that it can change for many reasons. Which is exactly how the first game worked. It also says to read up on food items before purchasing them. Yet I've been reading all the descriptions and nothing is said about buzz. Ice cream used to be good to sell on rainy days, and now the description talks about Greek soldiers? It's an interesting read, but where the fuck is the buzz information? Maybe the game is not about creating buzz for yourself anymore, and it's just a way to control the difficulty. I was always impressed with Cook Serve how I can select the items to increase the difficulty myself. It seems now it's more about having fun and serving the food you want to make in the restaurant. Since that's the best part of the game, I like that. Buzz is just a dynamic difficulty level to help you gauge how many orders you'll get. I might be focusing too much on the first game while judging this one. If creating dishes and serving them is more interesting than managing the menu, then you'll be happy. I'm enjoying the freedom, but I miss the control a little. One bonus to the simplification is the removal of managing how much trash, dishes, and mice traps the food is creating. In the first game, you could create your menu based on how much garbage it would create. I never paid any attention to that, and I just served what I wanted. I'm happy this was cut. Now chores seem to come at regular intervals.
Also missing is leveling up food, but I really don't miss it that much personally. It's just not here. Instead of that, they chose to include a lot more items into the game, like ramen and other kinds of chicken wings, which is way more exciting. Leveling up a steak and just having a few more extra button presses to make it cost more is kind of boring. This way, you just have a lot more food items to make, cereals even in there. Like, it's ridiculous how many more food items they put in there instead. It's just so much better and varies at the gameplay a lot more. Leveling up items was good to like increase the difficulty, but here you just got the buzz, like I said earlier. It's just way better. So, good job.
Generally, food is more difficult to make. You must switch pages to use an ingredient. Before, if you knew the keys, you could press them at any time. Now, if you can't see the item, you can't apply it. Since recipes are so complicated, a key might be used on either page. Overall, Cook Serve Delicious 2 is a more refined experience. It streamlines serving food in a restaurant while expanding on the amount of food in the game. If you liked the first game, then this is a no-brainer to pick up. It's all about serving a lot of different foods and enjoying the kitchen chaos.
Thanks for watching. Just wanted to do a full review on this one since the preview build was missing a lot of content like designer mode and also recipes. Some recipes were missing from it too. So full review now. I really still think it's an amazing game. Recommend it entirely for new and old people. Just anyone who can really type. It's fantastic. Thanks for watching.